Okay, this is just a short video, second part of removing the bumper iron and then getting access to removal of the front valance. So I stopped a couple of days ago at the end of the last video because I was having problems disconnecting the horns, which prevented me from removing the bumper iron that you can see there. Just zoom in a bit, there we go. And it's held on with stainless steel bolts at the moment. So I've had a fiddle about with those connectors and they look as though they're sacrificial. I was having a devil of a good job trying to get them off, and in fact I've had to cut into the connectors. We'll just have a look at that. And there you can see the connectors. One wire goes into one side of the connector and the other wire goes in the other side, and they're connected with a steel blade or a metal blade. And so I tried to save them, but I don't think I like these, and I may revert to the old-fashioned bullet type, which I suspect were the original style of connectors used for this sort of thing back when the car was built. So now I've disconnected those, I'll just mark them up obviously, and then I'll undo the bolts, remove the bumper iron, and we'll have a closer look at that. Right, now if you wanted to remove the horns on their own, with the it's not the bumper ends or the quarters that would stop you doing it, it's the actual number plate plinth, as I don't think there's quite enough room for you to manoeuvre them out. And I did try and do it, but obviously at the time the connectors were stopping me, so with better access I've been able to remove, as I said, the connectors. So now this bumper iron should just pull out. There we go, whoops. And that is a hefty pair of horns, if you don't mind me saying, but we'll have a closer look at that in a while. So there we go, bumper iron removed, and that gives us now full access to the valance, which I won't take that off today because I've got to soak and remove all the rust from particularly the bolts. I think it's a stud on the bottom of the wing, and then this bolts onto it. So it's all rusty, so I'm going to have a look at that probably tomorrow. So now we can lift off the horns on the bracket, as you can see there. I'll zoom in a little bit and show you a little bit closer in a minute. So as I said earlier, you've got quite a bit of latitude with adjustments on the bumper left, right, and with the crank handle hole in this you've got side to side and up and down, so you can line it up accurately. As you can see, the bumper iron itself has been painted black, but it's starting to flake off now, as you can probably see there, and it's getting a little bit of rust. It's only minor, and it's obviously been painted by someone in the past to protect it, and it's done a reasonable job. But I think it's about time it had another coat of paint after it's been stripped and prepared. Okay, so these are the horns from the Rover P4, and this is the mounting bracket. Now the threads on these studs, which are welded in, as I said before, the ends are starting to go rusty and the threads are almost non-existent, although they are further down. So what I'll probably do is I'll just grind off the weld, pull them out, and then put some new studs in. These, as I said, that's 7/16. So yeah, that's a fairly easy job to do. Now these horns are probably one of the loudest I've heard, and they're Lucas units, and whatever you say about Lucas, these are really nice, and they're hefty, and as I said, they kick out a real noise. These are made of aluminium, this part, and it's starting to get a little bit pitted, and aluminium oxide where the paint's come off, so that needs to be repainted. You can unscrew it and take these off. The same for the rear bowl, which is steel. So yeah, that all needs prepping and repainting. As you can see, there is a gauze that fits over the entrance to the horn, or the outlet, depending on how you look at it. And I'd like to bet these are as rare as rocking horse poo. And this one's not bad condition, although the rubber's starting to just get a little bit perished, but it's functional. So I'd like to find another one of those. I will have a search on the internet, but I bet there's not many about. Now, if anyone knows of where I could get one of these, please let me know in the comments below. So that concludes this part of the restoration of the front valance. Now, I haven't got to that part yet, so that'll be in the next part of this little series, where I'll remove it. As I said, there are some bolts that are corroded, and I might need to grind those off. The rest of the bolts are in pretty good condition, and they should come off quite easily. So that is going to be in the next video, and then that will be followed by the restoration of said front valance. So hopefully this is not too long a video. Please like and subscribe. There's going to be lots more coming on the Rover P4. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with the restoration, but it's one of those things that once you start, you have problems stopping. But it's a really enjoyable thing if you like messing about with cars as opposed to just driving them. So as I say, please stay tuned. There's going to be lots more to come. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.